Okay, so I know I look a mess. That's just really how I'm feeling right now. I'm trying to give y'all, not trying, but I am giving y'all 100% real. Now, a lot of y'all might know me from a previous interview I did on the site Soft White Underbelly channel. This will be my own channel, but I'm giving you updates because a lot of people want to know what happened in my life and where I am in life. So, let's get into it. Since I left off in Carson, I was still pregnant. I ended up having my baby November the 18th, 2020. The pregnancy was very stressful. I continued to make things work with her dad, and it seemed like the harder I tried, the worse it got. So, April the 9th, I remember this day like it was yesterday, and it's so painful. So, if I don't get through the story without crying, bear with me. And I hope you guys can still hear me. But April the 9th, no, April the 4th, um, things didn't work out in Carson. So we ended up back downtown. Not in the tents, in the SRO. So we had a roof over our head, but it was not stability enough. So one night, I needed to go and get some money so that I can pay for Callie's diapers and milk. So I asked my mom if she could babysit Callie for me. No problem. But what would happen next would change my life forever. And not in a good way. So April the 4th, my mother takes my daughter. I wrap her in the blanket, I kiss her on her lips, and I send them on their way. I tell her I'm gonna get the diapers and the milk, and I'm gonna come to your room when I'm done. She said, okay. I'm in room 24. My baby ended up staying with my mom overnight. I woke up the next morning. She did have milk and food to get her through the night. But I woke up the next morning, and like I said, I can remember it like it was yesterday. I got up and I grabbed a bag. I put Callie's diapers, Callie's milk, Callie's chewing toy, and I said, oh, let's not forget the Cheetos. She's teething right now, so she's gonna want these. When I walked down the stairs and walked across the street, an older woman who knows me and my child made a comment to me, and she said, Key, they have the baby. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm thinking DPSS has come and taken my child away from my mother. So I'm furious as I continue to walk. Because after she said they had the baby, I no longer wanted to hear anything she had to say. She then screamed that my daughter passed away and that she heard it was a lot of blood. I immediately took off running to the hotel where my mother and my daughter was located. And I see a police car outside. Now, in my mind, I'm still not accepting it. Like, I'm trying to convince myself I don't feel it, but I feel it. So, I go to the room. I race up the stairs. And there's a long hallway. And at the end of the hallway, I see two police officers standing by a guy's door. So I'm like, okay, cool. They're not here for my baby. That bitch didn't know what she was talking about. I walked down the hall looking for room 21. I looked at every door. I passed the officers, looked at the door down the corner from them. And it gotten to the point where I couldn't find room 21. Mind you, I had just walked by a door with yellow caution tape on it. But in my mind, I'm still not accepting it. No, not my child. No, no. So I turn around, I ask the officers, "Excuse me, sir, can you please tell me where room 24 is?" He points to the door with the tape on it. I immediately start asking 1,000 questions. What happened? Where are they? What's going on? He then proceeds to tell me that they cannot share that information with me. They don't even know why they're staring at the door. And I'm like, well, they had to tell you why they discharged you out to come and stand by the door because so and so happened. He said the people who were staying in this room is at USC Hospital, and you can get more questions there. So I walked down the stairs, and when I got outside the door, on this side of the hotel is a store. So the owner of the store was standing outside, and so I decided to ask him what happened, and he stated the same thing. They said that a baby died. So I'm losing it. I run back around the corner where I just came from to get more questions. Have y'all seen my mom? What's going on? I heard my baby passed away. I need a ride to USC like right now. A mutual friend of her and her dad and I stated he would take me. So he takes me to USC Hospital. And when I say that walk down that hallway was so long, so cold, and so fucking heartbreaking. I walk into the hospital. I go through the metal detectors. Boom! I see I see a nurse, an intake nurse, and I asked her, "Do you guys have a 4-month-old here?" She's like, I don't think so. Mind you, she knows everything that's going on with my child. Says, I don't know. Let me check. I'm like, I'm her mother, like, and they told me my child was up here. So she says, "Oh yeah, she's here. Can you give us a second? And the doctors will be out to talk to you." So I'm thinking like maybe my baby had got a hold of something, or she had an accident or something. Like, I'm not thinking that when I step into this back room with these doctors, they're finna give me the news that they're gonna give me. When I go back to the room, because after growing impatient, I started to lose it. We're talking about my 4-month-old here not being here anymore. So I go to the back, and the doctor and a DPSS worker is there. So I'm like, the tension is lifted a little bit because I'm still feeling like my child is here. Like, maybe she like seriously got a hold of something, or like somebody called on them because Caliyah was crying. The doctor asked me, she's like, "Are you Caliyah's mother?" "Yes, I am." She said Caliyah came into USC about an hour ago. No, she said when Caliyah came to California, they tried to work on my baby for an hour, and it did not work. Now, it pisses me off for the simple fact that I really feel deep down in my heart, had paramedics did the job that they were supposed to do when arriving to the scene, my child would still be here. Before taking Caliyah to the hospital, the paramedics arrived to the scene and stated, "What the hell is going on? And why the hell are we here?" For one, anytime you make a phone call to the police department or the fire department, it's on a recorded line. And I have to let you know what's going on the phones, which was with her grandparents dead. So when you got dispatched out, they had to tell you a 4-month-old was not normal. She was abnormal. And they were calling for assistance. So for that to be your response when arriving to the scene, that was not absolutely out of line. So while Caliyah was there, the operator instructed her grandparents on what to do, which was to give her CPR until paramedics arrived to the scene to take over. He did what he was supposed to do. He laid Caliyah on the floor and began to give her CPR. Literally 2 minutes after he started, the paramedics arrived to the scene. And instead of them continuing CPR, they stated the response that they said, "Why the hell are we here and what the hell is going on?" So at this moment, my stepdad is very furious. My mom's emotional because my daughter is not responding. Instead of them continuing CPR, they picked my child up off the ground without a pulse or pronouncing her dead. When they proceeded to walk down the stairs, the man had Caliyah in his hand like this. When they got outside the doors, he made a comment. "She's breathing," which means that my child was not breathing the whole time that they were in the room trying to figure out why the hell they were here. She was without oxygen flow to her brain for a long period of time. So I really believe deep down in my heart when he felt my daughter breathe, that was her taking her last breath. That's when they pursued to go to USC. Mind you, they were going to take my child to USC by herself. They put up a fight for my mother to get in the car with my child. She made it in. That's when it gets to USC. So now I'm at USC. And they tell me she had passed away. I was a little bit too late to see her. So they're like, we sent her to the coroner's office already after pronouncing her dead. Okay. So I said, is there any way that I can go and verify that this is my child? Like, for all I know my mom's not going to do it. It was just, I know my mom. But I'm explaining to them, for all I know, my baby's in Africa some fucking where, and you guys have a pit bull back here. I need to verify that this is my child. And they said that I could probably go to the coroner's office and they may allow me to see her. They did not. Strike two. I did not get to verify, me nor her father got to verify that our child was deceased. So, after all of that, I reach out to her father and let him know. Well, the mutual friend reaches out to him to let him know that our daughter passed away. His response was, "That's not my child, but what happened?" Mind you, this is a whole totally another story we'll have to get into another day. DNA test, 99.9998% hits. Anyways, long story short, I make it back to the park, and there's people coming to me because I still really don't know what happened. there's people coming to me and they're telling me stories. Oh, I heard the baby got through out the window. Oh, I heard the baby was crying so much she died. Like, oh, I heard this, I heard that. And mine is just racing because I can picture my pretty little baby on the side of a building. I'm literally losing my mind because I can hear my baby crying and not stopping. So I'm like, I'm so hurt. Why wouldn't nobody kick in the door? Like, if my baby was in there by herself, why would nobody kick in the door? Why would nobody, I'm asking questions. This woman looked me in my eye and told me that my mom left my daughter in the room by herself and literally started crying. So I'm really sold by this story, right? So when I get to the part after hearing these stories, I start drinking. Like, I'm like really drinking. Her dad walks in the park and he's sitting at the tables, and I'm like hurt because I'm like, I went through so much shit with this nigga. I begged this man when I knew I hit my rock bottom and I could not do it with Callie on my own. I reached out several times. I understand stuff not working out between us, but can you help me with the baby? Like, she has no milk. Like, I'm sending pictures of empty cans of milk and still getting no response. So when he coming apart, I'm furious. Why are you here? Why are you talking to me? He comes over, he texts me, Key, can I drink with you? I don't even want to be around you, to be honest, but he comes over, he sees me in the park. Can we walk and talk? Don't really want to walk and talk with you, bro, at this point, but you are her father, and I do owe you explanations as to what's going on. So I take the walk with him. While we end up taking a walk, I end up seeing my mom. In the midst of seeing my mom, he and I were talking. I asked my mama several times, how is it that I can send my child with you and you're not sending her back to me? How? How do I send my child with you and you're not sending her back to me? What happened to my baby? I just really want to know what happened to my baby. So we fast forward later. The owner of the hotel tells me there was no foul play. The hospital, the coroner's office told me, and the investigators told me to pretty much prepare myself for them to not have an explanation because it's SID, cradle death. They said when they took my baby to the hospital, they did all kind of tests and shit. The baby was perfectly healthy. I did everything under the sun to take care of my daughter. I did everything. So to have a perfectly healthy baby just leave, it's really painful. So like, April the 5th, my daughter passed away. I decided to get her cremated because I'm selfish. I wanted to keep her with me. But this is my daughter. my baby. I cried so much. I still cry so much. Because I don't understand how I can send my baby with my mom and she just not come back. So it's been so hard for me. I actually started a GoFundMe for my baby because I still want to give her a memorial service that she deserves. But due to Corona, everything was closed and financially I couldn't afford it. Now I know my GoFundMe on my page to help me get back to the other three made $18,000. And I appreciate it so much. It came through for me in moments when I least expected it to. And I was like at my rock bottom and it would help me through. When I was at my rock bottom, that GoFundMe helped me out in so many ways. I didn't get an apartment. Things didn't work out in Carson. That's another story. Things didn't work out in Carson, so I'm still fighting. I'm still fighting. The loss of my 4-month-old makes me want my other three back so bad. So bad. The only problem with that is I don't have a roof over my head. I know you guys are like, Key, like, but you're in a room right now doing a video. This place is not suitable for my children. And I'm giving you guys me 100% real, no bullshit. I started a new GoFundMe for Callie. And I'm asking if you guys could just please help me and my family out at this point in time to give my baby the memorial that she deserves. I can't afford it, but I know she deserves it. I'm gonna get in more details about my life on this channel. I'm gonna share stories with you guys about things that I went through and that could possibly help your daughter out or your sister or cousin. Or Caliyah motivated me to begin a business, and the name of my business is It Starts With Me. Down, up is the only way. That's the slogan. She motivated me to create this business for the simple fact that we hear on social media about how these children are dying, and we never hear in social media how to cope with it or methods of emotional stability that you're gonna need. Like, they don't teach you any of that on social networks. And so it motivated me to create a website. Now, in order for me to create the website, I have to have an income. So the income that I started to do was t-shirts with my company logo on it. I'll be posting my company's Instagram on my Instagram once the page is completely up and off the ground. You'll be able to find it in my description. You'll also be able to find the GoFundMe for Caliyah as well as myself on my page. If you guys would like to make donations and help me and my family in this crisis, all of the information for that will be on my Instagram. Um, I'm trying to think, is there anything else I'm leaving out for this story in particular? And I think I pretty much hit the nail on the head. Excuse me for being a little rough this morning. Like I said, it's just how I'm feeling. Maybe 4 days out of the week, I'm not okay. Like, I lost a 4-month-old. I'm never going to be okay. But I got strength that's unexplainable that helps me get through the day. But I will never get over the fact that I have lost something so precious to me, something so close to me. It's a feeling that you want no parent to feel, ever. Absolutely no parent should ever feel this feeling. It's a horrible feeling. And I just wish I could have been stronger for her. I just wish my life was set up the way that it needed to be. But I know at the end of the day, I did everything in my power to make sure my child was okay. So for God to take her from me like that, I will never understand. But here is where I end this video. I thank you guys for listening and watching. And I look forward to seeing you guys on my website. And like I said, I'm going to be posting my company's website when it's finished. I'll be posting my company's Instagram when it's finished. I'll upload an image of the shirt on to this Instagram so you guys will see like just a little slight little preview. But I'll let you guys see a preview of my logo that belongs to my company. It starts with me. So with that being said, I'm just asking that you guys just, if you have anything negative to say, please stay away. Only positivity right now is what I need. Love to help me continue to get through these days. So I thank you guys again, like I said, for listening, for sticking it out with me, helping me get back to my kids. I really appreciate it. I really do. I love you guys so much. And I'm going to continue to fight this battle until I succeed.